All right, good evening, everyone. The mayor's not with us physically this evening. He's online on Facebook because of COVID reasons, and so I get to do my vice mayor duties, and we're going to start the meeting. So we call the CRA meeting to order, and I'm going to ask that member Blackwelder Burritt would lead us in an invocation, and then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, I ask that you protect and guide us with your wisdom tonight as we make the best decisions possible for our beloved community and its citizens here in Apopka that we all love and desire to make a better place for our people to be in. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. And we have approval of the minutes for the CRA. Is there any question on those minutes for anyone?
Nope.
Can we go ahead and get a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner or Member Becker, and second by Member Smith. All right, public comment period. Do we have any cards?
Want to approve them?
No cards.
Got to approve.
Oh, we approve, it's approved, yes. See, I'm trying to make sure that we get this done fast. So, yes, this is fine. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Okay, public comment period. There's no one here to make comments, so new business. And Jim,
Thank
you want to take us?
Jim Hitt, Community Development Director and CRA Director also. Couple things just to fill in some of the information regarding the CRA itself. We did get a new council member a few months ago. This is Diane Velasquez. And just to clarify, we also have a new CRA board member that was appointed by the Orange County. This is Leigh Blackwelder. And obviously, this is another long-time Apopkan, so welcome to the CRA board. But that being said, just so that everybody knows that the members are actually already appointed, I guess you'd say, from the City Council. But
Jim, this is going to throw me off because I'm used to having the smell of Porky's over here with Steve White.
Oh yeah.
So this is going to be great for my waistline. I'm not going to
get hungry after the meetings and then go over. Back on June 28, 1993, this is a year after I came, we did establish our Community Redevelopment Agency. And as part of that, under the creation, this was Resolution 9316, basically the CRA agency, or the CRA board, consists of the mayor and the 4 members of the council, together with 2 additional members, one appointed by the city and one appointed by Orange County. Orange County is a home rule county, and they do have some jurisdictional powers that help us with our CRA in terms of not just financing, but also appointing a member of our community to the CRA. As you may or may not remember, those of you that are listening also, the CRA is funded primarily from tax increment funds, which were established back in 1993, and any increments that are of taxes for both commercial and residential properties, 95% of those increases go into this redevelopment trust fund, and that's what's utilized in order to pay for the improvements that are done for our CRA community itself. It's a 633-acre area, basically Oak Street on the north side, 10th Street on the south side, Hawthorne on the west, and basically goes out almost to Sheeler on the east side. So it's a kind of a nice little pocket area made up of residential and commercial properties. That being said, there is one area that we are going to be going out to bid on. We've been talking about it for a few years, but it's originally was we had called it the Downtown Apopka Triangle, which was also known as DAT, for marketing purposes primarily. But it's also known as the Station Street Project. And that is planning to go out to bid this coming Sunday. One of the big highlights about this portion is that this is going to be utilizing a brand new electronic format for the bid process. It's in the company or the area. I'm sorry. The program that we're utilizing is called Procure Now, and this is our first bid document that's going through this new process. So we're putting it on for 45 days. It might get extended because of how voluminous this type of a project is. We want to make sure we get good credible bids, and we'll be working on probably the top 3 bids for this project. The project itself is actually in our redevelopment plan, and so we're hoping that within the next 60 days or so, we'll be able to come to the CRA and City Council for approval of the winning bid. So that's a real quick update. I wanted to kind of get that out of the way because sometimes once you get done with the bid process, old business, this is all new business because it's brand new stuff, and especially with the Procure Now program. So we're very excited. This is also a program that I was able to see it today. It's very user-friendly, has very good controls, and I'd worked on one of the procurement programs down in Claremont, and this one, I think, outshines that. And so I'm looking forward to being able to utilize this. But our finance department did a bang job getting this program for us. So that's the main things out of the way for that part.
All right, so CRA fiscal year 2021 and 22 budget approval. You want to lead us through there?
I will. Well, I'm getting the PowerPoint out for you. I just don't want to cancel anything out. Okay, here we go.
Hey, Jim,
Yes, sir.
before you go on, I just, one of the things that, we obviously are going out to bid for the city property, but one of the things we're also trying to coordinate with is the Homes in Partnership property, which kind of is on the south side and west side of the property that we're going to put out for bid. So what we want to try to do, and they're more than willing to cooperate, and so we just want to make sure that they're included, and as the bid goes along, and making sure that we all are kind of on the same page as far as what that development will look like, because we want them as partners, not as out there on their own island. So we're really excited. They've got a new leadership team over at Homes in Partnership. So we're excited to be able to work with them on this, a much bigger complex than just the city property.
That's true. We'll go forward. There we go. I'm just catching up on the PowerPoint real quick. Sorry. So with the, as you know, we go through the CRA budget each year. This does have to be done separate from the city council. It does become part of the approval process for the overall budget for the city, but it does have its own separate program and separate processing. We basically keep all the money separate from the city's coffers. The latest large program that we did was the Fifth Street parking lot. That one ran about $600,000. That was purchasing and construction from basically the ground up. They took up everything. And for those of you that haven't seen the parking lot, I hate to say this, but it's the best looking parking lot that I've seen in Central Florida. It's got lighting, palm trees, zoysia grass, so it's efficient. We have a crosswalk for both the business across the street and the VFW and the community center. So it's a good center point to begin this whole process, and was actually part of the 1993 redevelopment plan. So we finally followed through with something from 25 years ago. But that being said, the overall, there's two resolutions that we actually have to pass for this project. The first one is we have about $2.4 million that we have in the coffers that we have to bring over for the following year. This is in guidance with the Florida statutes and Chapter 163, Part 3 for the CRA itself. So that's resolution number one. Resolution number two is actually the budget the budget itself, which I have outlined in the staff report, which outlines the different agenda items or different account numbers that are actually make up the CRA budget itself. So with this one, I'm going to go through these. If you have any questions as we go through, just stop me and we can go through those. We did, and this is something that we had last year, we had taken money out of the wayfinding signage in order to make funding available for a couple different projects, recreation projects that were at Alonzo Williams Park that benefited the whole CRA. But we added back in that up to the $50,000 mark. The annual audit runs $4,500, and then the FRA conference, which is coming up in October, is actually at $850. The CRA assistance programs have actually been pretty good. And I do have a summary sheets that were also part of your packet. We kept the building code assistance program. This is the one that most of the businesses are using it for, anywhere from windows to doors to air conditioning units are probably the big one. They cannot use the money again for the same type of project. So this is one of those things that it's kind of tedious for the property owners, but I make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed type thing, because what we're utilizing is the tax money that people are putting into the CRA trust fund. So we have some duties to perform in regards to making sure that everything is done on the up and up. All of the quotes that are brought in, I'm still utilizing what was done for the CDBG program, where you have to get 3 quotes. We would pay for and it's basically apples to apples for any of these projects. So if they're doing a 3-ton unit and they're putting a 3-ton, or replacing they can put in a better efficiency unit, but the 3 quotes would have to be for basically the same type of item. A 3-ton unit, the air conditioning, the electrical, things like that. So with that one, we're putting in $35,000 for that. It's a $5,000 maximum with a 25% match. So they have to have some skin in the game in order to get the money. Haven't had any tussles with that. They know that it's money that different projects or different people are putting in, and we're getting the businesses. We got 4 new businesses that have started in the last couple of years. 3 Odd Guys, the Propagate Social House, the Smoke Exchange. We've got Lula Mays Eatery down on Central Ave. We've had a few other businesses also that have the old H&R Block building. We have a brand new owner there that put in windows, painted the whole building, got rid of that weird green that they had on the building for a while, and they're actually coming in for air conditioning units, and those they've been there for, he said, about 35 years. So I don't know anybody that's got an air conditioning unit that lasted 35 years, but it can't be efficient. The facade renovation, basically exterior painting numbers. You can do doors and windows with that also. That one is a $5,000 maximum. If it's more than 45 or more than 4,000 square feet, which is usually more than a typical storefront, they can get actually up to 10,000, but it's still a 25% match. Building permit refund and the business impact fee, those are, we did change that up so that it reads for new businesses. If they're building a brand new building, they can apply for those now. The residential fee assistance program, this is impact fees. If somebody's going to be building, we've done this for 3 lots so far. Basically, it allows new developers to build a new single-family house. We did add in townhomes and multifamily, provided that their ownership, usually the townhomes are ownership type occupied, but that can actually save them up to over $20,000 if there have been no impact fees paid on the lot before. We had 2 of those occur on 2 lots on Washington. We had another one on 8th Street that already had a house on the lot. So what we did, we contributed towards the police and the fire impact fees. So we've got 3 in the last 3 years, or 2.5 years. And we've got a couple more projects that are coming in that will be utilizing that again. And then single-family renovation, I've only had 1 so far on this one, but it's for single-family and multifamily ownership occupied, where they can actually get repaid or paid up to $1,000 for paint, windows, things to make the house look better. I don't put it towards landscaping because landscaping, you got to make sure it's watered, you got to make sure it's trimmed. You know, typically, most homeowners mess up on that the first time they put in brand-new plants. So I wanted to make sure that it was more of a permanent type thing when you start doing the renovation type work for residential renovation.
I want to ask on that, have you had many inquiries at all? Do we think that people just
I've
don't
had-
know about it?
I've had 2 more inquiries since this last one got done. So it's just a matter of them coming in.
Yeah, because that's a great plan and
Yep.
getting it out to the community. Good.
But Jim, on that one, with the CDBG grants coming at 750,000, we don't need to duplicate the federal money. So I just want to make sure that either we don't need this money in the CRA budget, or if it's got things, I can't tell you whether the paint's included, but if it is in the CDBG grant, I think we ought to pull that back.
Yeah, right now with the renovation, I've only got $10,000 in there. That would have to be separate from CDBG.
Hey, Jim,
Yeah, we
can you
weren't able to
repeat,
hear.
can you repeat what the mayor was saying? It was kind of hard to hear.
We've got the potential for doing CDBG work, going with with Homes in Partnership and some of the new homes that are going to be built in the downtown area. And Mayor was mentioning that he didn't want to duplicate the effort between CDBG grants that are available to do the same type of thing versus what we're doing. So they can't double dip, basically. And that's something we can basically establish at this meeting, is that we don't want to double dip in that type of renovation work.
So do we need to make a special motion for that, or?
That would probably be advisable. We also have a demolition programs. We do have some dilapidated buildings in our CRA, and we've got kind of a holding pattern. We haven't had to use this yet, but we've got the money there if we need to. Downtown furniture.
Wait a minute, Jim, on that one, I think that's also I think that falls under the CDBG grant as well, demolition.
So what we could do is probably pass just a motion that funding from the CRA trust fund cannot be utilized for the same thing as CDBG program items.
Okay.
So
Right.
would you like to go ahead and do that
Let's go
now,
ahead and
just so
do
we
that
get
now.
that
I think
covered?
that's a good
So-
idea.
Okay, now, do we already know that we're going to receive these CBG funds before we do this?
We are in the process, but we can pass a motion without having to, that way it's done. We get it done ahead of time.
So that if it comes through,
If it
it's
comes,
already
okay.
covered.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so do we need to reword the motion the mayor just stated? Do we need to, basically, motion to monitor the CDBG RRAP programs against double dipping?
It should be clear enough, that's the intent, or simply those items that are listed in the budget, if funds are received from CDBG, then the funds will be, the CDBG funds will be applied to those line items rather than the other funds.
CRA funds.
Okay.
CRA funds.
Any other questions?
I just have a question. Is there a restriction against combining the federal funds with the CRA funds?
Well, that's what we're trying to avoid.
So there
with
is
the
a
motion.
Okay, I just didn't know if there was, I was wondering if there was some instances where it would be beneficial, but if there's a restriction of doing that, then forget I ever said anything.
No, I don't think there would be a restriction, but I think we've got $750,000. I think that'll go a long way.
Yeah.
I'd rather take those, $25,000 and allocate it to some of the programs we've got, add, 5 or 10 to one of the other programs, whichever, and I'm flexible in any of the other programs, but I think let's be sure we've got great projects to spend the $750,000. And it is a done deal. It's a little slower process than state grants and local grants, but the 750 is coming our way.
Okay,
Good.
thank you.
Can I call for a motion?
So move type.
I
So
make a
moved.
motion. Oh,
Okay, motion by Member Becker, second by Member Williams. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Good. Thank you. Downtown furniture. This is something we'll get going as we get our city or our Station Street project going, but also This is the same type of thing where we've already been working on. We've got a couple bike racks that we put in at the Fifth Street parking lot. We'll be working on trash cans, benches that you can't sleep on, different furniture. This will also be combined with the wayfinding signage. We've already got a general design. I'm getting some quotes for some of those signs, and what I'll be doing is sending out that design to the CRA board and the city council so that you can see what these some of the signage is going to be looking like as we start giving people direction to where things are, especially parking. State district fee, this is a required fee. It's basically mandated. It's $175, hasn't gone up in the last 25 years that I know of. It's always been $175. They basically keep track of all the special districts, not just CRAs, in the state. And there's actually one gentleman that does all that. FRA membership, we had utilized the lowest amount because we hadn't been spending money. The $995 is basically, it's a graduated amount based on how much we're actually spending for our programs, and this is based on the money that we're going to be utilizing for our downtown trail. FRA conference registration, it's probably the cheapest conference I've ever seen. It's $450. It includes, I think, all but one meal for 3 days. So I don't know how many of you have ever gone to these conferences for state things and organizations, but it's a very well-defined conference, and we glean a lot of good information. We talk very openly about different programs, and we utilize some of these projects. Instead of creating a brand new project, we just, we cannibalize other people's projects and then change the spokes for each of our jurisdictions. So it works out pretty good. Capital improvements. MA Board Street, this is a project that we're looking to do across the street from the Alonzo Williams Park and the Billy Dean Center. Right now, there's only about 17 or 18 parking spots. That's barely enough to do a baseball game. So what we're looking to do is split the parking or the lot on the south side in half, sell off the western half that borders Hawthorne. The potential there is 3 brand new single-family homes that, because there's no homes that have been built there, if it's within a certain price range, they could actually qualify for up to $20,451 towards the impact fees. That would get, and basically when you take those impact fees off of a house, it becomes an affordable house. And that's the whole idea behind that project, is to get affordable housing in our downtown. The other portion, we've got a couple different designs that can actually afford up to approximately 40 parking spaces. We would sign this so that there's no overnight type parking. The police already drive by the park at night, so we want to make sure that that is patrolled properly so we don't get any riffraff hanging out in the parking lot causing issues. But it does provide parking for the park. So if we have it, right now, if you have there was a big event there, I want to say it was about a month and a half ago, and they were parking on that lot, which is the city's, but it was a dirt lot. So if you can imagine the liability if somebody trips and falls and hurts themselves on a dirt lot, it's a lot less if we light it, pave it, and landscape it. We're providing a safe location for parking. And that's something that we'll show you the design for beforehand.
Who owns the property that's on the north side of the basketball courts?
I don't know right off the bat. It is
Quest.
private.
Quest owns all that.
Quest does? Okay.
All the way
All
over
the
to
land
Hawthorne?
that's west of where their adult training center is, all the way to Hawthorne.
All the way to Hawthorne.
Don't know what's going to happen with that either.
Well, I mean, I just don't think that that's an ideal place for the parking lot, even though I know we need one. I think that entire property would be better suited for homes, period, to build more homes as opposed to putting a parking lot there.
Yeah, the hard part with that is that because it is deep, doing the way I separated it right now, the 3 homes that can face Hawthorne, it's hard to fit any more than that without making a single drive coming in and then splitting the property up, because all of a sudden you're creating a dead-end driveway for possibly up to 6 homes. So safety-wise, putting a parking lot there, it's a buffer between those homes and the ones that are already pre-existing. If you put parking on the north side of Alonzo Williams Park, if you have an event at the Billy Dean Center itself, then they've got to walk all the way down Hawthorne in order to get to it in the first place. You park it right across the street, do a mid-block crosswalk, it's right there, especially for the ball diamonds also.
I disagree with that, Jim. I think Commissioner Smith's right. If we could get that property there, because what you do is you curb it, that's where our trail's going to go.
Correct.
You curb it, and then you wouldn't have to walk across, a thoroughfare. You just walk across a trail to get to the park. I mean, yeah, it's a little farther than, right across the street from the Billy Dean Center, but, for the bigger events, they're outside anyway. So I would entertain Commissioner Smith's idea that if we could get that other property and then turn the property right across the Billy Dean Center into all housing, I think that's a much better plan, just for the safety for the residents and safety for the people that are parking for whatever event at Billy Dean Building or at Alonzo Williams Park.
Yeah, because what I envision is you're gonna have people parking behind these homes that you're talking about building that's facing Hawthorne. And then I'm not sure if anybody's having a conversation with the person that lives in the Bridges home that's right there as well. So I think we're gonna be creating more of a crime base by doing that.
If we put that lot on the south side up for sale, they could come up with a design that I haven't thought of, which is good. And then we can contact Quest and see if they'd be willing to hopefully donate property for a parking lot and make it something that does possibly border the trail.
Right, and we can put an interest on the other end, so they don't have to walk all the way down Hawthorne.
Yep. And that would lead, over to Washington, which is where we're also putting on that small little, I think there's 6 or 7 parking spots there for picnics and things like that.
Right.
So that could come in handy. The people that come to the events early, they get the parking spots right on the street in front. The other ones, you come late, you park on the north side.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's an excellent idea. We don't need to motion that. That's just direction for
No,
the
it's
staff,
just
right?
future items. Okay. So that could stay the same, but we could I could actually put parking lot for Alonzo Williams Park. In fact, I can change that way it just says parking lot for Alonzo Williams and Billy Dean Center.
Okay.
But I don't disagree with what's being said here. I'm just saying, if parking lot is a necessity, then I wouldn't put all your cards in assuming that Quest or other interests are going to sell land to the north of it to make our parking lot vision a reality. So I'm just saying that there's some risk there.
Well, if we have it here, then it's in the plan.
Yeah,
We can always
I
come
get
back
that.
and
I
amend
get
the
that.
plan
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if we allow all that land to be single-family homes, which I'm not saying that's the wrong direction, I'm just saying, but if you think that a parking lot is necessary, then that removes all the land that's able to be used for parking lot in that vicinity that we own currently.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking if we just say parking lot for Alonzo Williams, it doesn't matter where then. It's still in the budget for,
you just
and
have
I
to
only
solve
put
for
$200,000 in because the Fifth Street parking lot, which was about an acre, that was a little over $400,000 for an acre, and this would be less than that. So it would get us started. And then I can come back and get budget amendments from that.
All right.
Downtown Trail supplemental funding. This is basically where we've got the funding for the trail itself, and I've got a map that I added to the PowerPoint so I can show you the main trail. I also put in electrical amp boxes for Central Ave between Station Street and Main Street. We might expand that onto Fifth Street where we have some of the shopping and the new businesses that are there, and that's primarily so that if we have events and we have, say, food trucks or vendors coming down, instead of them running generators, which is noisy and polluting and doesn't smell good, putting electrical amp boxes there, they just plug in. Keeps it quiet, still provides the electricity for the downtown area for that type of an event structure. And then these are the different trail segments, which I'll show you the map itself. The one that I did add in was the Central Ave downtown trail portion, which is going from Michael Gladden up to the Station Street project area. It's fairly flat, just about the whole way. There's a couple different smaller sections that are in front of the businesses that we won't be able to do much with because we don't have the road right away. But the rest of it will be able to widen to the 10 to 12 feet, and we've already got palm trees that have been planted. So basically, it'll do a loop feature in our main downtown in the shopping area. And this is the main trail map itself. Right now, we had a meeting with Newkirk Engineering regarding the trail segments. They're 60% completed with their plans for 6th Street here and going up to Station Street here. We're looking to do a one-way aisle from Central Ave down to 6th Street. And then that way we can actually expand the trail a little bit wider than what the sidewalk is right now. And then as soon as you get to 6th Street, though, it's still two-way traffic here. That preserves the entrance coming in for the VFW Community Center, so we don't have to worry about losing an entrance because we only have two. The other portions that are 60% right now are Michael Gladden, and we went over the plans that I believe it's 30%. They've got a couple more things coming up. Hawthorne, and then this portion of 5th Street, just north of the park. Right now, it's a dirt path. It's not safe because it does border where the basketball court is. So what we're planning on doing that is putting bushes on each end of the block itself, and that will only be for bicycles and pedestrians. So basically it's providing a safe haven for kids and adults for walking next to a park. And then that
Jim,
yep.
Jim, on that, we've got the 250,000 that we're already from the CDBG grant right now, and we've got another 750,000 coming. So we also want to make sure we don't duplicate dollars. Where we can use the CDBG grant money for sidewalks, let's be sure that gets done, and then where we need to fill in with CRA dollars, then we can fill in. So let's just be sure we, look at that as well.
Yeah, my understanding from Dr. Jackson is that this portion is part of our in-kind portion for that CDBG grant, just that one block. And then from Washington over to Marvin Zanders, and then angling up across the railroad into the Station Street project, that's the last little segment. And then this is the Central Ave portion, that's the part that we added in for this next budget year. And of course, all that ties in with the West Orange Trail, which connects to the Coast to Coast Trail. So you could come up here, stay at one of our local hotels, ride down the trail, ride down the West Orange Trail to the Coast to Coast. You can go all the way to the East Coast or all the way to the West Coast. So you can use us as a jumping off place. Plus, the West Orange Trail will be going up to Kelly Park. So there's another portion. You could just go up and down the West Orange Trail from downtown Apopka, and then come back down here to do some shopping, have a drink at one of our local breweries, a few other things like that.
Which I think we really need to capitalize again as we press toward economic development, and that Apopka is a real hub for that.
Oh,
a
yeah.
real crossroads. And I know that's been discussed.
We've got this in the works now, especially with the Station Street project. I can't wait for that to happen. A couple months from now, I'm hoping we'll have something that we can look forward to having built downtown.
Do we have this map in our packet?
No.
All right. Can you
I'd sent this to you before, but I can email this to you again.
All right, please.
I actually have the segments that Newkirk did for each section that they're working on in line. And then the little drawing that's here, I actually found this in another document, and I changed it to palm trees because that's kind of what I envisioned, because it's low impact. Roots aren't any issue once you water it in after a year. You don't have to worry about them. But basically, this is like a 10 to 12 foot path, and that's kind of what I was hoping that we got.
And this path will be where?
Everywhere that is part of our downtown trail. This is our downtown trail, this is what
So
we're
the
gonna
blue
get.
part?
Yep,
Okay.
the blue and the green. So besides that, with,
Real quick question while we're still on the budget part of it. So on the council agenda, we've got the year-to-date financials, and out of the CRA, we've expended 376 year-to-date. So we're carrying over that 2.4. How much of that is coming out of the assistance programs? Because that fully funded, that's around 250,000. How much of that?
260 for the assistance programs, then we've got the demolition, and I believe.
Well, I'm talking like current year budget. So are those, I guess the ultimate question I'm asking is, are the assistance programs being fully utilized? And are we doing a good enough job of letting residents know that they have access to them and they're actually using them?
The primary ones that I've seen that are utilized the most is right now the building code assistance and the facade one. Those are the businesses that utilize that. The residential renovation, that's getting more visibility now that we've got a couple people, one person's used it, and they're spreading the word. The residential fee assistance program, that one will be coming into play more this year, but we've done 3. Talking with other CRA and community development directors, they don't do anything like that to try to get affordable housing into their CRA. They basically they're just talking about it. They aren't actually doing something. We actually have a program. The 2 that I haven't seen utilized because we haven't gotten brand new businesses coming in yet is the building permit refund assistance program and the business impact fee assistance program. Both of those are at $20,000. It's up to $5,000. Sometimes the impact fees can run, $20,000, $30,000. It's a very small part of what a brand new business ground up would be able to utilize. We could leave it in there. If we find out that we use it or we don't need it, we can come back in and utilize that $40,000 for something else and just change the budget.
Okay. And then we had discussed, I think it was in the mayor's report, the last city council meeting, talking about the new sanitation boxes for the Fifth Street parking.
Yes, yeah.
Is that going to be in this budget? And where
That's
would that-
not part of, that's not part of this.
Why isn't it part of this?
Typically, the CRA money's usually used for things that are permanent type things, not things that are funded or somebody else pays for in the long run. They pay for garbage pickup. So.
Oh, you're through their garbage service fee?
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
I got you, I follow.
Yeah, it is something that we could probably look at doing. And it might be a viable program to try and replace some of these receptacles with that program. I think it's a phenomenal
Yeah,
program.
I
mean,
really
being
like
able to
that.
utilize that. And that might be something that, we'll see, how these work. And, we were already, at the city council, we were already talking about possibly expanding that to other areas. That might be an ideal thing to put that extra $40,000 towards.
Yeah, because I mean, the permanent nature would be actually digging those holes, though, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's some capital cost incurred.
True.
But you're thinking, it just elongates the payback period through those service fees that they're paying for the trash service.
Correct.
So,
But
yeah,
this
either way,
might
you
be a
skin the
way to
cat.
do
I mean,
that.
I don't know what the ultimate price tag is for that, but, if,
We could see how much that would run, but that might be an ideal program because one of the things that I had worked on at one of my other previous positions, we actually paid for garbage can enclosures because obviously it's a beautification thing if you don't see a dumpster. And what that program is that we're doing right here in our downtown is it's a lot less conspicuous and a lot better of a program. So that might be something that we could utilize for. And so, we might come back in a few months and say, hey, we'd like to utilize these funds for that, and then pick those locations for that.
and then how much, and last question, how much flexibility is built into the capital improvements for the trail system? The reason why I ask is there a little bit of fluff built into there, or, obviously, as things evolve, we can come back and pivot? but,
There's a little bit of fluff, yes, sir.
we don't know what's going to happen with the Station Street area, what the concepts and the visions of people that respond to that bid process, and having some wiggle room in there, that way if we do have to augment what they're doing with some capital improvements for other things in that immediate area to make it the best possible, we would have some wiggle room in
Yes,
that
sir. Yep, I was-
2.7 million.
You actually brought up exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
So that's, I put it in that program versus the others because, if I put more, like you said, fluff in one program versus spreading it out, then we only have to dip into one in order to do a budget amendment.
Well, and exactly the point. I mean, if the assistance programs aren't getting fully kind of like
Change it.
full throttled, then I wouldn't put too much fluff over there. It's more here, and then we can pivot
Yes.
as we understand costs.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Exactly. So that being said, the overall budget for this next fiscal year is at $3,266,270. The increment money has gone up significantly over the last few years, and we're actually projecting that we should be getting about $800,000 from the tax increment from the city and the county this next budget year, which is part of this, has been worked into this. Our sunset for our CRA is January 2024. Well before that, we are going to be requesting an extension from Orange County probably for another 10 years. Unfortunately, when I originally was with the city, I was here for about 13 years, and when I left in 2005, I thought everything was rolling along and we hadn't spent any money. And now that I'm back, we are getting into these programs, and we're getting into the Station Street project. We're getting our CRA rolling again, and we're getting a lot of new businesses coming downtown. So I feel that within the next 10 years, downtown Apopka is going to balloon, and we're going to have a lot more things to see and do in our downtown. And I think I hope that everybody wants to be this. They want to stay here. They don't want to have to go to Winter Garden. They don't want to have to go to any of the other cities. And we're sitting good. We've got a good program. We've got a good plan, and we'll probably be updating the plan for that 2024 extension request and see what other kind of magic we can make.
Well, I think too, that first domino, getting that parking lot done is finally, we don't want to take 23 more years to get the next part done. So
Will not happen.
I know you said it's going to be 45 to 60 days to get this bid process in.
Yep.
And at that point, any ballpark that we're going to see, get the eye candy of everything we're talking about here, are we going to see that within the next several months?
Yes, the way we've outlined the bid is that they have to start construction within a 2-year period. That means all the plans, all the engineering, usually takes at least a year to a year and a half to do for most projects. So whoever looks or is the successful bid has to know that we want this like now. And
So-
I'm guessing that
You're talking the sidewalk, the infrastructure, the
Yes,
signage,
sir.
all that could take up to 2 more years?
up to 2 years.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, most projects like this, a mixed-use project where they can get up to 50 units and 60, 70,000 square foot of new commercial, a parking lot or parking garage, a pavilion, and an event space. That's a huge mix of different types of product.
So you're talking about all of those, not just the sidewalks that cause them to want to come?
Correct. That's
Okay.
that 3.4 acre parcel where Field Goods Bar used to be.
So we're not gonna do the trail and
Oh,
all
trail will probably go out to bid before the end of the year.
that? And so how long would it be before we see that?
The bid should go out before the end of the year. All they're doing is putting in sidewalk and all they're doing, driveways, things like that. That'll probably take about 6 months to complete at the most.
Okay.
So that'll be, the bid will be coming, the bid package will be coming, we'll be putting the bid out to bid for the construction for the sidewalk or the trail. And that award will be coming back before the CRA for approval, because it is CRA funding that is funding for this, for the trail. So you'll see that probably, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, I know it, probably by November, and then get the bid award by December, January, and then hopefully by June, July, in other words, the next non-COVID year, people will actually be utilizing the trail.
Well, and Jim, the 250,000 will go into, that's kind of immediate. We'll be, we've kind of already selected a lot of the streets where we're putting in just the normal 5-foot sidewalks. What we've done is there's a lot of streets in the CRA that they only have a sidewalk on one side of the street or the other. So what we're going to try to do is go in on the other side where there's not any sidewalk and put a 5-foot, which is ADA compliant.
Yep.
To finish that, and then out the 250, that won't last long, and then we follow that up with the $750,000 CDBG grant as well.
Yeah, in fact, is the drawing, and I'll send this to the CRA board. But that little picture, if you blow this up, besides the 10-foot sidewalk here, there's a 5-foot sidewalk on this side too. It shows up a lot better on a big picture, but that's what I envisioned exactly. What Mayor mentioned was getting both done, not just half of it.
Okay, well, we've got 3 motions to pass regarding the budget. Do you want to do those, or do you want to go ahead and discuss that 4th item and just handle all 4 of them?
Well, before we vote, can we change the budget year on that page from 2021 to
On the
21-22?
resolution? Hold on. The first resolution are you talking about section 1?
At the end of that page, you just finished, right below the downtown Apopka Trail segment, it says CRA total budget for fiscal year 2021. It's $3 million. It should be fiscal year 21-22. Am I correct? You see what I'm talking about?
At the very bottom, where it says CRA total budget for FY 2020. On the,
Oh,
go back on your slides.
Right there,
Just at the very bottom of
at the
the
very bottom.
yes, I'll change that. That's just in the staff report.
All right.
21, 22. I thought I got that. I could have sworn I did. I apologize.
Thank you.
There's
The
always
motion
something
states
you
it
catch
right,
as a
so.
teacher. That's why we need teachers, and again.
Okay, any more questions by anyone?
Yeah, you're actually going to pass the resolutions, and those I really did check.
Okay.
I was looking on the resolution, and I was like, oh, no.
All right, so let's ask for a motion to approve the CRA fiscal year 2021-22 budget.
So moved.
So,
Motion by Member Becker, and second was Member Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, number 2, resolution number 2021-01. A motion to approve resolution number 2021-01 to appropriate the existing redevelopment trust funds to the next fiscal year, 2021-2022. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Member Becker. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Williams. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Resolution number 2021-02. We need a motion to approve resolution number 2021-02 for the approval of the CRA fiscal year 2021-2022 budget. Have a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Member Becker, second.
Second.
Second by Member Williams. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Then the
All right, and
last-
number 4.
Yeah, the last item, I just wanted you to see what we've been spending and the general amount that has been going in. As you can see, this is the CRA Assistance Program Project Summary. I started this, of course, when we first started doing the assistance programs. And you can see I number them so that you know the year and then how many there actually are. Very simple system. But basically in 2021, we've got about 6 different projects that are going in right now. I just lost mine. And the overall, we require a 25% match, and typically most of the people that own these businesses are actually putting in more than the 25%. So right now the overall is 38.39%. We've since its inception in 2018 for these programs, The CRA contribution for the building code, this is the air conditioning, electrical, plumbing, things like that. CRA has contributed 68,000. The applicants have contributed 62,000, and the overall input for the CRA has been $131,000. The Florida, or the Redevelopment Assistance Program, CRA has contributed 56,000. The applicants have put in 26,000 for close to 30% of the projects, and we've contributed 82,000, over 82,000 towards that program. So just those two alone has been over $200,000 that we've put in towards our neighbors. Business impact fee and the building permit fee, you can see those haven't really been utilized that much. Because we haven't been utilizing, brand new, we changed that, instead of putting towards just regular impact fees, building permit fees, it really hasn't paid that much. So those are the two that have $20,000 each in the budget, so we might not utilize those. The residential impact fee, we've done, like I mentioned, 3 of those. We paid out $43,862 towards that program. There is no match on that because it basically goes towards the impact fees. And then the last one was the residential renovation. $1,000 we paid out. The applicant had put in $3,500, so that was a $4,500 impact towards somebody's house that they basically improved their house. So hopefully we'll get a few more of those over the next fiscal year.
Excellent. Anyone have any other questions?
And if you
All
know
right.
anybody that is interested in any of these programs, I'm here.
Does this go out on the water bill, I'm assuming?
No, we have not, we haven't put out, I actually have a brochure that outlines all the different programs.
Right, I've
It's just
seen
a 2-pager. It has the girl from World War II, in there with the right stuff type thing. So it's just an outline, and then make sure that I put my name on there so that they can call me.
And is that something available on our website?
I can put that,
On our
I'll have to
Facebook
see about
page?
putting it on the website because of the ADA accessibility. I've got a lot of pictures on that.
Maybe the Facebook page?
That might be something we can work on. I'll
Way to
talk
get
to our IT department about doing something like that.
Okay, I will ask for a motion to approve staff to complete minor changes to the assistance programs as needed to further the CRA redevelopment plan. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Member Williams,
Second.
second by Member Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
And that's all I got for you.
And that's it. We covered any other business that we need addressed by anyone?
Just a quick question. On the projects that that have been done recently, I know we briefly at one point talked about maybe putting some type of sign, like, I don't know, you get a new roof and it says ABC Roofing Company sponsored this project. Have we looked into that anymore as also a means of maybe getting the word out on the different
I
programs?
have not done anything like that. That might be something that we could do. I can't put anything that the CRA would pay for a business, but I can put something, this project was funded by, CRA, and maybe put it in the window, or ask them to put something in the window for like the first month that they're open with that. That's not a bad idea. I like that.
All right. Well, we've got about 6 minutes left between now and our next meeting, so a little comfort break here, and we'll see you all at 7. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.